For the longest time, health was pretty simple. It just meant you weren't sick. But that idea, it's completely changing. We are smack in the middle of a huge health revolution, and honestly, it's changing everything.
And really, it all kicks off with this one simple but kind of mind-blowing question. What if you could measure your body's true age? I'm not talking about the number of candles on your birthday cake. I mean, how is your body actually doing on the inside? And get this isn't sci-fi anymore. This is the new reality of our health. And that right there is the big idea, the engine driving this whole revolution. Think about it. We're shifting away from that old reactive model, the one where you wait for something to break and then you try to fix it. Instead, we're moving to a proactive model. The goal now? It's all about optimizing our biology for peak performance and, well, for real vitality.
Okay, so this whole proactive approach, it really stands on a few key pillars. And the first one is, I think, the most exciting. It's the new science of decoding longevity. And let's be clear, this isn't just about trying to live longer. It's about that old saying, right? Adding life to your years.
So here's the simple way to look at it. Your chronological age, that's just a number. It ticks up 1 year at a time, no matter what. But your biological age, now that's dynamic. It's a reflection of how well your body is actually working, based on everything from your genetics to what you ate for lunch. And that's the number, the one we can actually do something about. And this brings us to the real goal here. The science of longevity isn't just about your lifespan, how many years you live. It's about your health span. I mean, seriously, who wants a bunch of extra years if you're going to spend them feeling awful? The real prize is extending that time when you feel vibrant, healthy, and free from all those chronic diseases. So the big question is, what does it actually take to improve your health span? And you might be surprised at just how small the changes can be. Seriously, what if I told you it could start with just 5 extra minutes of sleep a night? Yep, that's it, 5 minutes. The latest research shows that even a tiny, totally doable change like that can have a real, measurable impact on your health in the long run. And it's not just about sleep. The science is becoming crystal clear on this. Small, sustainable habits are where the magic is at. We're talking about an extra 2 minutes of moderate exercise, like just a brisk walk around the block, or half a serving of vegetables. See? These aren't massive, life-altering changes. They're just tiny tweaks that add up over time, and they could literally extend your life by months, maybe even years.
Okay, so when we zoom out from those little habits to the bigger picture, like your overall lifestyle, the evidence gets even more powerful. Take the Mediterranean diet, for instance. It's loaded with veggies, fish, healthy fats, and it's a proven powerhouse. I mean, we have long-term studies that have linked it to way lower mortality rates from things like cardiovascular disease and cancer, especially for women.
But here's the thing. Longevity isn't just about what we do on the outside. It's also about what's going on deep inside of us. And that brings us to the second huge pillar of this health revolution, the incredible, powerful gut microbiome. You can think of it as your body's own private ecosystem.
So get this. Scientists are now calling the gut microbiome a pivotal organ-like system. Now that is a massive statement. We're talking about trillions of tiny bacteria living in your gut that basically act like a whole new organ we just discovered. And this organ affects pretty much everything: your immune system, your metabolism, even your mood. So having a healthy, diverse microbiome isn't just about, good digestion. It's so much more. It's absolutely central to keeping your metabolism balanced. It's key for insulin sensitivity, and it's crucial for fighting off the kind of chronic inflammation that basically speeds up aging. And look, all of these things tie directly back to that big goal we've been talking about, extending your health span.
And the science here is getting wild. It's incredibly specific. It turns out the microbes in your gut actually produce these byproducts that can, for all intents and purposes, talk to your DNA. It's like they're flipping little switches on your genes, turning off the ones that cause inflammation and turning on the ones that help with energy and metabolism. It's amazing.
So what does this all mean? Well, it means the days of one-size-fits-all advice like, hey, just eat more yogurt, are pretty much over. The future is all about precision gut health. It's basically a 3-step plan. First, you get a profile of your own unique microbiome. Second, you get probiotics and prebiotics that are tailored just for you. And third, we're even starting to use postbiotics, those helpful compounds the bacteria make, directly as targeted supplements.
All right, so we've got these 2 huge pillars, longevity science and the gut microbiome. But they're really part of a much bigger, more holistic picture of what it means to be well. And that's our third section, wellness, and how it all fits together.
Let's talk about movement, for example. That old school 1 hour at the gym or it doesn't count mindset, yeah, that's fading away
fast. The new focus is all about practical, sustainable stuff. We're talking snack-sized workouts, just a few minutes here, a few minutes there. And there's a much bigger emphasis now on strength training, which is so important for keeping muscle as we get older.
And sleep. We touched on it earlier, but its new role in all this is absolutely critical. It's no longer that thing you just sacrifice when you're busy. People are finally starting to see sleep as a core performance metric, right up there with diet and exercise. And of course, we now have all this tech to help us track it and actually get better at it.
And remember, longevity isn't just a physical game. Mental fitness is a huge piece of the puzzle. Things like learning how to regulate our nervous system, to handle stress, and really prioritizing our emotional well-being. These are now seen as totally non-negotiable parts of living a long, healthy life.
So what's pushing all this forward? There are really two big driving forces. The first one is personalization. We're getting way past one-size-fits-all advice, thanks to things like custom vitamins and even AI health coaches. And the second force is community. We're finally recognizing that having that social support, that accountability, well, that's what helps us actually stick with it.
Now, it's not all smooth sailing. This revolution is incredible, but it's not without some serious challenges. As our health gets more and more data-driven and personal, it brings up some really important ethical questions that we as a society have to figure out.
First up, and this is a big one, with all this amazing personalization comes a tidal wave of our personal health data. And that leads to the million-dollar question. Who actually owns all that data? How's it being used? How is it being protected? Especially now with AI coaches and genetic profiling becoming common.
Then there's the whole question of equity. I mean, if the cutting edge of health means expensive tests, fancy high-tech gadgets, and personalized plans, we have to stop and ask ourselves, is this new wellness just for the rich? How do we make sure that this revolution is actually accessible to everybody?
And finally, we've got to look at the science itself. A whole lot of health and microbiome research historically has focused on very specific groups of people. That means a lot of global communities are completely underrepresented in the data. So when we're talking about optimizing biology, we have to ask a tough question. Whose biology are we actually using as the model for everyone else?
But look, even with these challenges, the fundamental message of this health revolution is really positive. It's about empowerment. It's about the idea that a longer, more vibrant health span is within reach. Not through some impossible, punishing routine, but through small, achievable, science-backed changes that any of us can make.
The science is just exploding, and the tools to use it are getting cheaper and more accessible every single day. We are literally learning how to influence our own biology in ways we never thought possible. So the question isn't if we can do this anymore, it's how. And really, that brings the question back to each of us. The science of longevity is here. The real question is, how are you going to use it?